Hey there, welcome back to another video. Today I want to do something a little bit different versus my normal comparison videos and put two competing vehicles in the same segment of SUV head to head. This is the 2024 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy versus the all new and upcoming 2024 Chevy Traverse RS. So I just want to put this out there that this is only comparing the features, options, and pricing information on paper, not taking a look at these vehicles in person side by side, and not taking into account any of these subjective opinions such as design, styling, how a vehicle drives, everything like that. So I still think this is very helpful, relevant information to consider when shopping for either of these two vehicles, but there certainly are other factors to consider, many of which I can't do outside of having the vehicles in person, such as comparing sizes and stuff like that. So in this video, we're just going to take a look at what vehicles offer what equipment, some of the similarities, some of the differences, and of course go over the pricing information for each of these two vehicles at the end of this video. So make sure to stay tuned, buckle up, there's a lot of helpful information. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So as usual, I want to put this disclaimer out there in that I created this list of similarities and differences using the order guides for either of these two vehicles. So if you think anything is incorrect or just need clarification, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I will do my best to answer that and of course guide you in the right direction. And make sure to check out the build and price tools on the respective manufacturer websites for each of these two models because it's a great way to learn more about the vehicle, compare the different trim levels, see what features are included, and of course go over that pricing information as well. So first up, I want to cover the standard equipment or features found on either of these two vehicles and their respective fully loaded trim levels. Like I said, the Palisade Calligraphy versus the Traverse RS. Now, it might not be an exact match. Say the driver assistance technology might be more advanced on one versus the other, or there might be some slight differences there. But for the most part, every feature in this list will be found on either model. So starting out, you're going to have the driver assistance and safety suite technologies, including adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, forward collision avoidance, blind spot detection, etc. High beam assist, surround view camera system, heated and ventilated front seats with heated second row seats, tri-zone automatic climate control, rear camera mirror, panoramic sunroof, LED headlights and tail lamps, front and rear parking sensors. I couldn't confirm whether the Traverse has front parking sensors in addition to rear, but I believe it might, so I went ahead and threw it on this list. Hands-free power liftgate, remote start via the key plus the app, power folding third row seats as well as power release second row seats, 120 volt outlet, heads-up display, premium audio system, garage home link, auto dimming interior and driver side mirror. The Palisade actually has all three mirrors are auto dimming, so slight advantage there. And then of course we have the Wi-Fi hotspot capability. So those are all the features found on either of these two models, which is kind of to be expected for that greater than $50,000 price point. So next up, I want to cover the list of Palisade features that are not going to be available on any trim of the Traverse, at least as the time of me filming this video. So we're going to have the blind spot view monitor, ventilated second row seats, heated third row seats, remote smart parking assist, digital key 2, massaging driver seat, ultrasonic rear occupant alert, thigh extension for the driver's seat, second row wing out headrest, the passenger talk intercom system via the infotainment system as well as the rear speakers, haptic feedback steering wheel as well as the second row sunshade. So this is quite an expansive list of features that are not available at all on any trim level of the Traverse as of me filming this video. So those are all exclusive to the Palisade, at least for the time being. Now similarly, I want to move on to the Traverse features that are not going to be found on the Palisade. This is going to include things like the Google integration, safety alert seat, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Super Cruise, which is a hands-free level 2 driver assistance technology, power folding mirrors, power tilt telescopic steering column, as well as a heated wiper park. So a little bit shorter of a list of features that are exclusive to the Traverse when compared to the Palisade, but there is a little bit of a trade-off there. Next, moving into exterior colors for either of these two models. I believe there's going to be 7 colors for the Palisade, 8 colors for the Traverse. Very similar color palette and lineup, although I think the GM color palette is a little bit newer, a little bit fresher, and I think is a little bit better in this regard versus that of Hyundai, which is kind of falling behind, not going to lie. Need to refresh some of their colors for the Palisade and other models as well. But anyways, taking a look at the Traverse, iridescent pearl tri-coat, summit white, mosaic black, radiant red, sterling silver, stardust, which is a very unique color, harvest bronze metallic, as well as lakeshore blue metallic. And then for the Palisade, you're going to have hyper white, abyss black, typhoon silver, steel graphite, Sierra burgundy, moonlight cloud, as well as robust emerald, which is a calligraphy exclusive color. So, a fairly good list of colors for either of these two vehicles. Next up, covering the pricing information, which is probably what you guys are most interested in for this video. Starting out with the Palisade Calligraphy front wheel drive, this is gonna start at $51,745, including destination, and all-wheel drive will add $2,000, so $53,745, including destination. And then finally moving over to the Traverse, also comes in front wheel drive and all-wheel drive. The RS front wheel drive is gonna be $55,595, and the all-wheel drive is also gonna add $2,000 at $57,595. So when you compare the exact difference for these two vehicles, both front wheel drive to front wheel drive or all-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, this is gonna represent a difference of $3,850, which, is not a small amount. Not quite 10% of the MSRP, but, probably looking about 7 to 8% of the MSRP. So not a small difference to ignore, but it definitely gets a little bit more interesting when you compare the Traverse RS to some of the lesser trims of the Palisade, including the SEL Premium or even the Limited. Now, I know I said at the start of this video that I was gonna compare equal trim levels, fully loaded calligraphy to that of the Traverse RS, but I think it is relevant in this case to consider the Palisade SEL Premium or the Palisade Limited, which is 1 or 2 steps down in the trim level respectively, because it still does contain most of the features of the calligraphy. There are a handful of things you do lose going down 1 or 2 trim levels. But if you do consider the SEL Premium Palisade versus that of the Traverse RS, that's going to represent a nearly $10,000 price differential, and you still are getting a handful of items that are not found on the Traverse RS, such as the ventilated second row seats and stuff like that. So there's going to be about a $9,800 difference when you compare the SEL Premium to that of the Traverse RS. So I don't think it is worth ignoring. And if you do step up to the Limited, you will be about a $5,000 to $6,000 price differential versus that of an equivalent Traverse RS. So, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video and, all of the differences in terms of pricing, features, and options and stuff like that. Just wanted to kind of bring that up to you guys. If you are considering these two vehicles in the midsize 3-row SUV, both are going to be solid options, or what appears to be. We have yet to drive or get hands-on with the Traverse in person, but I am fully expecting to be at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show, so make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for that. But I have tons of time with the Palisade, so it should be pretty good or pretty easy for me to get an idea upon first impression and hands-on with the Traverse of how it stacks up versus the Palisade. So I think that is definitely going to be very, very interesting. Make sure you guys, like I said, stay tuned and subscribe for that because I will have more content coming on either of these two vehicles. So with all that being said, you guys have to let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, knowing the feature differences between each of these two models as well as the pricing information. The Traverse itself is going to be more expensive and really not have all that much more equipment, or simply has less equipment in some regards, versus that of the lesser expensive Hyundai Palisade. So the main benefit I see to the Traverse and the exclusive features and options is going to be the Super Cruise technology, because of course hands-free level 2 self-driving is very, very nice to have on those longer road trips. It is expanding consistently across the roadways, which it is compatible with. But I will say Highway Drive Assist 2 on the Palisade is no slouch either, but it is still a hands-on system. It can be somewhat of a nanny if you're on a certain type of roadway and doesn't sense any feedback in the steering wheel. Will make you wiggle it to keep it enabled and driving down the road using all of that technologies. But outside of that, a lot of the comfort and convenience features are going to be somewhat similar. I do think the heated and ventilated second row seats in the Palisade, as well as the heated third row seats, are fairly exclusive in the class versus that of some of the other competition. But it all comes down to personal preference, how much you think you will use those features, and whether or not you want to spend the extra money to pay for them, because you can stick with that Hyundai Palisade SEL Premium and save over $9,000 versus that of the Traverse RS. But again, that is not factoring in any of the other factors such as driving experience, design, ergonomics, size, stuff like that. So this is simply taking a look at features, options, and pricing on a surface level, on paper, not considering all those external factors. So once again, let me know your thoughts about all this down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, stay tuned for the 2024 Chicago Auto Show. If you guys want to support the channel even further, consider becoming a channel membership or using the Amazon affiliate link down in the description below, where we do get a small referral bonus for you guys using that at no extra cost to you. As always, hope to see you guys in the next one.